Last week on Chasing Glory,
I'm not into that chaotic lifestyle anymore. I remember the first time I was talking to you, I was just cutting out drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now I haven't been drinking any alcohol. I turned vegan. I'm in this
You're
nice
vegan now?
I'm vegan.
No. Think about everything that has happened since then. It was pretty much after you found out that you couldn't wrestle anymore, the whole situation with your neck. But your movie had not come out yet.
No.
You and Ronnie were not together yet.
No. But all I know is that I have like a wonderful man now who really truly takes care of me and has my best interest at heart.
So how's it been for you? Are these things been fulfilling for you? Or is it still trying to find your next wrestling? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what is the next thing that just fires you up like wrestling?
Stand by.
3, 2, 1.
The following program comes from executive producer Lilian Garcia. Every athlete is on this quest. Every performer dives in head first, battling real-life challenges and overcoming obstacles in an effort to make their dreams reality. Singer, speaker, and 15-year WWE host Lilian Garcia was the first woman to ever announce WrestleMania and is now the PFL MMA cage announcer. And now she's giving you an all-access pass to the human interest stories of elite athletes, extraordinary entertainers, and wellness experts. Now, let's embark on another fascinating journey of Chasing Glory with your host, Lilian Garcia.
What is the next thing that just fires you up like wrestling?
I love it. I love getting to be part of the Fox family. Like, they're amazing, and I love doing the show. I do miss being in the ring and doing something though. So like I started doing like even dance classes and stuff like that, which has been really fun for me. But I don't know, I feel like I just want to be able to be in front of a camera and do something other than just talk about wrestling. I want to be able to veer into acting and stuff like that. Like I feel like that's something that would really fulfill me, you know. Because like I love it. I love what I do. I love it. I loved managing the Kabuki Warriors. I loved being the GM. I love being part of the Fox family. But I'm like, damn, I want to like elevate my career even more there and do something that's completely out of my comfort zone. Something that's nothing to do with wrestling, you know, and just see how it goes.
So what are you doing steps-wise to get you there?
So right now, because again, I'm still trying to build up my confidence because I still feel very insecure a lot of times. That's why I started taking up dancing, because Bryn is wonderful, and she did like when we were in Total Divas, she's the one who did like the dance off. She choreographed our dance routine.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like she's here in LA, and I'll go there every Monday, and she just makes you feel so confident, so sexy, you know, and you just feel so good. And so like I'm just trying to build everything up then, and then like I just think me and Ronnie having a reality show together too. So I've been doing like throwing like bits and pieces here, and all these producers have been hitting me up about it. So I've been trying to like focus on like maybe getting mine and Ronnie's brand out there a little bit more, you know, and then people can see more inside my life and remember me for something different, maybe change their minds a little bit. But like, yeah, they get to see our day-to-day lives too. So I want to start doing that. And then I just need to get my name back out there. I feel like I've gone like a little bit quiet for a little bit now.
And so does that bring a little bit of, hello, don't forget me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't forget
well,
me.
that's the thing, is because you've been on stage, right,
Yeah.
with wrestling, and you're this dream for so long. This is your identity.
Yeah.
And so many times when this happens, this is what's happened to a lot of wrestlers that end up not being able to wrestle anymore, and they don't have anything afterwards. They're like, oh my God, I'm totally going to be forgotten. I don't know what to do, the transition out of it. But I love that you're taking it upon yourself to do those classes. And you know, let's talk about reality TV then. You talk about this. You're not on Total Divas anymore, right? Was that your decision? Are they just changing cast?
Yeah. It was like, I think the Bellas, they kind of want to just focus more on total Bellas. And then I wasn't wrestling anymore. So I understood that point. Like when I got the call, they were just like, we want you to be somewhat part of the show, but not a main cast member anymore because you're not wrestling. So like it's about female wrestlers. And I was like, no, I totally get that, but I would rather not be part of the show at all. Not even just like little glimpse of me. I would rather just not be part of it unless it's something super important. And I think I did like one appearance for Lena because she was doing something that was really empowering for women. And I was like, oh, I'll be a part of that. But yeah, no, I'm kind of happy that I kind of took a step back from that, because I feel like with Total Divas, there's a lot of just like memories that I'd want to forget too. Like I've had ex-boyfriends on there, and I was like a party animal and stuff like that. And I just wanted to have a new show where they can see like the new me, like the more adult me, the more like focused I am, the more sober I am, you know. And that's what I want to do, is just like just build something completely new, like a fresh start kind of thing.
Does Ronnie know reality TV and what that takes? Because I know you know it.
Yeah.
You know the insides out.
Yeah.
You know the being followed. You know all of these things. But does he know it?
He's used to cameras being around him. We did shoot like a pilot, so we kind of like understood like what was going to be happening and stuff. I remember telling him, I was like, you don't have to be entertaining all the time. Like they can just have a camera, we be sitting here, you know what I mean, and it'll be fine. But he understands.
It can get a little intimidating.
Oh yeah, 100%. But he's so entertaining, like it's crazy. Like he just switches it on, and he's just like, no, you know, like he's just it's just so easy for him. But I'm like, I told him, I was like, only be like 2 months here and there that would be filming, and then it would air, and then we go back to filming again. I was like,
so it doesn't scare you, reality TV? Because
no.
I know that some people get scared from it because they don't want to show everything.
Well, this time around, instead of like Total Divas, like we want to be like more involved in it if we had a show. You
like
know
Ms. and Mrs.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I love that show.
Oh, they're amazing. Really entertaining.
Yeah.
And I would want to be a producer and part of creative and stuff like that, just so we can have like final say on stuff, you know, instead of anything getting cut in a way that we don't like or make us look bad. That's how Rodney was too. He was like, I don't want to be made to look bad, because he was on, I think, Dash Dolls, and that's the bad experience that he had, because the producers kind of like manipulated him into like this situation with this girl, and then she made out like Ronnie was her boyfriend, and he was like, I'm not her boyfriend, you know. So he was just like, he was completely like, no way, I'm not doing reality shows, because they made me feel like, you know, they trapped me inside this thing, and then like he just felt like he was being used, you know what I mean? So even to this day, he'd be like, you dated that girl? He's like, no, I didn't date that girl. Like, he's just like, I don't know, you know. I just got told to film that one day by my label, you know what I mean? And so that was kind of like something that worried him, but he wouldn't do a reality show. He said, I wouldn't do it before, but with you, I'll do it, you know.
That's
because
super
we
cool.
trust each other. Yeah. But yeah, I think he's excited about doing it, because we'll be sitting here and I'm like, why do we not have a camera on us? There's always something going on. Like always. It's like a circus all the time in our house. And like we try not to let it be a circus. We're like always just trying to make it chill, but there's always something. Always. He like jumped on the roof the other day. Like he's batshit crazy, but he wanted to get a good photo of the scenery and stuff like that. But somehow he got up there, but he couldn't get back down again. He always killed himself trying to jump off. He's just like all scraped up all his face and stuff, like how he just fell down. But he's always doing like ridiculous stuff. But he's so funny. He's so funny.
And I love the fact that you have this house. You said that you've got people all the time that come over. How does it feel for you to have, like, you know, it's almost an extended family, because your family is in the UK. You know, I spoke to your mom recently, which is cool. She's awesome.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I miss my family a lot. But the thing is, like, I have really good friends that do come, and I like the peace and quiet, honestly. I like it when it's just Ronnie and I, because then like once a month or whatever, his band will come over, they'll rehearse, or there'll be like a new music video that they need to put out, or they're about to go on tour and stuff. And so like we always have a house full of people, and then after a couple of days I'm like, I wish it was just us again. So that we got this big house. And I love it. It's 7,000 square foot house. It's ridiculous. We were supposed to downsize actually, but
you were?
We saw this one and we're like, because we saw it in like in the garage is so big that he wanted to make it into a rehearsal space, so we didn't have to like leave the house a lot, you know. And then we have like an upstairs area with like a separate staircase where if the boys come, like the band come, they have their own private staircase. We made like a room into a kitchen for them, and then they have their own like their own private quarters, which is like really cool. So and that was all Ronnie's idea. He was just like, I just want to be able to have that space and like, you know, that peacefulness. And he was like, I know it can be like, it's like if I had like a bunch of my girlfriends here and then he has to keep coming downstairs, you know, they're not an issue. They're wonderful people, like, of course. But sometimes we're so in that peaceful mindset these days. We're just like, I just want to be alone.
Yeah, you said you had actually a post or something where there was a lot of people down below partying, and you were at the top, and you were like, that is down there is not me whatsoever. It actually surprised me. Like, I didn't realize how much you'd like to be at home.
Oh my God, I love being at home.
But where did that come from? Do you know? Has that always been the case?
Honestly, there's a lot of like really terrible things going on in the world right now too. Like just like it sounds really dark and dim, but there was like a lot of shootings and stuff like that. And then like a lot of people, like you see people on the internet and you just like you deal with the internet all the time. You feel like you're constantly around people anyway. And I just like my privacy. I just love it. Like I just feel at peace here. Like when no one's bothering me anymore. Like if I don't want to see someone, I don't have to. Like the internet doesn't bother me because I can just put my phone down and I just have like this peaceful life and it's wonderful. I just love it. And I never used to be like that crazy into it. I used to always like have to be up and going out somewhere and stuff like that, you know, or drinking or partying and stuff like that. And then something when we just changed where I'm just like, I don't want any of that anymore. I just want to be relaxed. I want to be healthy, and I just, you know, I want to focus on myself.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird how that just clicks and changes one day.
Do you feel it was like everything that you went through made you?
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Yeah.
There's just been so much chaos in my life over the years. You know, I never really got to have a childhood because I was working, and then got to WWE and I was working, and then, you know, I had the neck surgery, and then the tapes come out, and it's just always just been like so hectic. That at one point I was like, oh, I just want it all to stop for a second.
Turn it off,
yeah. And this is like the perfect place to do it, like just this area. This actually used to be Ronald Reagan's house, apparently.
This was?
Yeah. These walls, dude, like this is so hard to hammer stuff in because everything is like, I guess bulletproof or made of titanium or something like that. So our handyman took like 3 days, like just trying to hang stuff up on the wall. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, these walls could talk.
Yeah, I know. We're like laying in the room and like, Ronald Reagan used to sleep in this room. This is crazy.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Very
it's wild.
interesting.
One Ronald moved out, one Ronald moved in. Ronald Radke,
It's
Ronald
Ronnie's
Reagan.
house all the way around.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my
I love it.
Although he's built like the surveillance on our house. I was like, you look like you're like auditioning for Doomsday Preppers because like we have like all these cameras. Yeah, because he worries about if I'm here by myself, like all these like people.
Yeah.
Like he just wants the house to be like super protected, and plus he got robbed. His house got robbed before, and all his expensive stuff got stolen. Yeah,
wow.
so he's just like, no, we can get like Google Nest, and like it just controls our whole house. We have like so many different cameras, and I was like, well, no one's gonna break in.
You know, it's crazy. Everything that you've had fear around, like the trust things, especially coming from when, you know, early on with your mom and everything like that, has just shown up in so many places.
Yeah.
But what I love about you is that even after it does show up, you find a way to get through it.
Yeah, yeah.
And move on.
Yeah.
And and you're so resilient, which it says so much about you. No, seriously, but it's helping so many people, right? That have ever been in the situation that just want to get secluded. There's actually something that you said that made me go, wow, that is me. But you really started to come out in such a way that, I'll tell you, I recently heard you in an interview saying, I'm scared to talk sometimes because it seems like I'm always in trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you feel like you're always in trouble to speak up?
It's just really hard because like I feel like people instantly attack me over stuff. Like I was speaking to Renee Young the other day, and she was like, I tweet about you and I get like a bunch of crap. She was like, I can't imagine what you go through. Right? It's just like, I feel like everyone's just on the attack with me all the time. Like ever since that stuff happened, and then being with like a certain ex and stuff like that, people kind of like changed the view of me, and they just, I don't know, it's just really hard. So it's like really hard to say anything, like, or if I don't say anything at all, they attack me. You know what I mean? Like it's really, really hard.
So that's what I was going to ask is, because I was bullied when I was a kid. I came from Spain to South Carolina, wore dresses to school, everyone else is in jeans, I'm speaking Spanish. So I was instantly like the foreigner. So I was completely attacked and bullied. It made me, I went from a girl of being so playful, so much personality, loving life, to being so attacked that it followed me, bullying followed me, that it made me want to shut up. And it did shut me up for a while. I was so scared to talk. I was so scared to say anything that it was going to get out of context or put me, you know, in a light where people could attack me. You still have been speaking out. You're still like, we had planned this in December and all of this happened, but you're like, nope, we're going to still do this interview. right?
Yeah.
I'm still going to talk. You brought this up, what the whole ordeal, right? You don't get scared to talk about things.
Not anymore. I feel like I used to, but now it's just like you get to a point in your life where you're just like, I'm not going to shut up anymore. Like I'm not going to let it just. It's weird. It's like this weird switch. It happens to me a lot where I go from one extreme to being like, boom, done, over, like, and then like. It's just really strange. Like all of a sudden, I just get this courage, and I feel like it's the people that I surround myself with too.
Very important.
Yeah, I have such a wonderful, like I have wonderful friends, including you. You know, who's always, as soon as there's any kind of issue, you guys are always the first ones to text me and be like, "We have your back. You're fine," and you just give off all this positive energy, and it helps me. And then again, Ronnie, I know I've been talking about Ronnie a lot, but like he encourages me too. It's just like. No, you should stand up for yourself. Like you shouldn't let people walk all over you anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of friends I had that kind of like I didn't realize were walking all over me, and then once I actually sat back and looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah, you're like taking advantage, you know? And it's like he like opens my eyes to that stuff. And then so when this wave of stuff came along, I was just like, no, I'm not gonna sit back on this one. I don't care. Like I got to a point where I'm like, I'm so sick of people like talking about me like that or saying stuff about me like that, where I'm just like, you know what, F it, I'm just gonna speak out, you know. And it's like the most empowering thing ever. Like this whole weight gets lifted off your shoulder, and you're like, I feel freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like in my shell anymore. Like, and I never used to be like that until I moved to over here and then got, you know, involved in all that crap, and then I just kind of like went into the shell, and it was really strange because I wasn't like that when I was in England. And now I feel like I'm back to my old self again, where I'm just like, I'm me, I'm empowered, I'm strong, I'm a beautiful woman, I can do this, you know what I mean?
I love that though, because some people can shut off and then that's it. They don't know how to come back out of their shell. They don't know what the first step to do. But I love that the fact that you said that you surrounded yourself with positive people, with, you know, people that can help you.
Oh yeah.
That right there is key. I always tell you, people, be careful who you have around you.
Oh yeah.
Like they will definitely influence you and your decisions. And
I can see it. I just a random. So for example, like now I can see people who take advantage, because like if people come over and fix the house, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a fine price, like whatever. No, there was a guy that came over and we were gonna get these shutters, right? These motorized shutters.
Yeah.
So we don't have to like do this like every night.
Right.
So but the guy like quoted us like 5,000. We were like, oh great, perfect. This is fine, right? That's like a normal price for it because it was like a big window. And then he saw like that we were happy with that price and upped it randomly to 10,000. And I was like, whoa. And usually I'd be like, oh okay, like timid about it. And usually I like, you know, Ronnie take the reins on a lot of stuff. But I was just like, no, fuck this.
Right.
And you just start standing up for yourself. And it's honestly the best feeling ever once you start doing that.
you can do it nice, right?
Exactly.
Just do it nicely.
Exactly.
But stand up
I'm not
for
saying like
yourself.
attack someone, because
Right.
like that's how I got brought up in the first place. Like my dad, like he would like literally like really punch it into us, like not physically, but like really like drill it into us, like always stand up for yourself. Like my brother was getting bullied by a group of kids, and I just remember my dad being like, can you beat him up by yourself? And Zach's like, no, there's so many of them. He's like, take this chain, go take care of yourself. Like, but he's just like, it's just old school mentality where we used to fight growing up. Like we were constantly fighting for like our, I don't know, like our pride and stuff like that, you know, like always stand up for yourself, but it always end up being like very like physical. And then like, kind of went into my shell, and then now I'm starting to be like, without the physical side of things, like more like how my dad.
Did your dad help you with that too?
Oh yeah, my dad's wonderful. He's always been like my biggest support. He was just like, whatever, you had a sex tape, Kim Kardashian got famous from that. I was like, all right, thanks Dad, appreciate it. Didn't go that way for me, but yeah. But he was just like, whatever, everyone has sex, so like, you're just fucking in the public eye. And I was like, yeah, you're right, thanks Dad, I appreciate it. He's like, he does
Kim
it.
Kardashian got famous out of that. Wow.
I know.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I love your parents. They really
they're
are
wonderful.
amazing. I want to know now, fighting with my family, you know, how that was for you. When we had first spoken, I think you had seen the film. No one had seen it yet.
Yes.
And then it got pushed back, and then it finally got released.
Yeah.
How was that for you, seeing yourself on the big screen? Did you go to a premiere where other people were in the audience too? Yeah?
Yeah, so like I went to a lot of premieres, but the one biggest one that I loved, obviously I went to London, it was wonderful, got to see it with my family.
Yeah.
And then we did the LA one, and everyone came along, the Bellas, everyone, it was wonderful. But the one that really stood out, and New York, which is wonderful. I
Yeah.
can't tell them about all, but they were
Yeah.
all great. And we had like these massive celebrities come, like Emily Blunt and everyone else. Like, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
that's
they're all here to watch the
amazing.
movie. And John Krasinski, like from The Office. I love The Office, but obviously
Yeah.
they're married. But I was like, they both came, and I was like, I'm such a big fan right now. Like, chill. But the one that stood out is I got to go to Sundance Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another thing that Ronnie came along to. That is not his thing whatsoever. Like he's used to being in like the music world, you know, where like
Yeah.
he kind of takes the reins on everything. Whereas just like when you're in this world, you have a whole team that's pulling you in different places, you know, all the time. So he's just
Right.
like, oh my gosh. But he came with me like every step of the way, and like Dwayne was there, the whole cast was there, and we just did like, and I got to meet Vince Vaughn, Lena Headey, and Nick Frost and stuff, and it was just the most fun I've had. Like it was really, really good time. And then actually watching it air at Sundance Film Festival in front of like all these big media outlets and all these people, and like Dwayne sitting in the crowd this time, and then I'm sitting right next to Florence, which is hilarious because she's just like sinking in her chair looking at me, and she's like, this is really weird. I'm watching this movie with you because you're alive. And, like,
Right, I'm playing you, and
Yeah.
you're like sitting right next to
Yeah,
me.
she was like, usually it's people who die that gets their movie made about them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty awkward. And she's like literally sunk into a chair, like. But it was just such a wonderful experience, and I had so much fun, and like I just love being a part of that because that's again like feels like a different world. You're walking into like the movie world, media world.
Yeah.
So it's like a completely different concept, which is really strange. But it was just wonderful. It was just so much fun.
It's a great movie.
Oh, thanks.
I
loved
enjoyed it so much.
It did really well over here, but then it also went #1 in the UK. It was just like, it only just came out in Japan. Like right now.
Really?
Yeah, only just came out in Japan. So it's still like doing like releases everywhere, which is
Wow.
crazy. But it did really well. And then Ronnie was sweet. He went and got my Fight with My Family poster framed for me. So it's kind of
That's awesome.
But like another weird thing too is like, you know how everything works full circle. I was like, I remember this is about Fight with My Family, but it leads from this story first.
Yeah.
So obviously when I was younger, I would go to like these house parties with my friend at my friend's house, Chelsea's, and she was like, her house got robbed while we were there, and Snoop Dogg tickets got robbed, right? And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you're not going to be able to go to the Snoop because we like loved him growing up. I was like, can't believe you can't go to a Snoop Dogg concert. It's crazy. And then fast forward like fucking, it's like 12 years later, I am literally showing my movie in his compound. Standing right next to him, just being like, hey, it's me and Snoop Dogg. Like, I remember
That's
when I really wanted to go to your show when I was like 12 years old. But yeah, it's
Wow.
that was a wild one too. And then I got to take Ronnie there, which he was like super excited about because he loves Snoop Dogg. And then he was like on his piano, like going up on his piano. I was like, I don't know if you're supposed to be on there, but he's just like, I don't care. He's like going up. It was like,
Yeah.
it was really cool experience. It was really cool.
Wow. How about for your parents and your brother? Like, I got to
Yeah.
be honest with you. When I was watching it, my heart was breaking
I know,
for your brother.
dude. It made me feel bad, and I forgot how like what we went through. I forgot, and like I tell people all the time, I was like, this movie's not just about me, and it's like these two different success stories, which I love.
Yeah.
There's one where like small town girl, rookie, underdog, make it into the big leagues. Wonderful. It's like an American dream kind of like thing. But then you have a different kind of dream, right? Where Zach won in the end. It gives me chills because he went from having this dream, but then he had another dream. He wanted to have a family, and he had the wife. He has his 2 kids, and now he's teaching disabled kids how to wrestle. And he's getting these parts in these movies as well. Like
He is?
Yeah, he's been doing like all these little movie parts and stuff. And then
Dude, look,
yeah,
I got goosebumps.
know it's
That's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, and now he's got like this 4-part or 3-part series coming out about him, and I just feel like, oh my gosh, it still gives me chills.
Wow.
And I just think like it's so wonderful. Like he won. And it's just like how I said in the movie, it's just like it's not about thousands of people screaming your name. It's what you do, when you're at home that makes you a success.
Well, isn't that what we've talked about here in Chasing Glory, is the fact that we're all chasing this glory, and we all think, though, that life has to look a certain way because we have it planned in our minds. We've got it planned, right?
Yeah.
And so he knew, he was like, I'm going to WWE, like this is what I'm doing, I'm going to wrestle. You're doing it just to hang out with your brother at first. You end up being in WWE. He doesn't, which I was like in the movie. I was like, oh my God, my heart is breaking.
I felt so bad for him, dude. Yeah.
But then at the end, like it was so amazing. And now you're telling me all of this. Like
he's the success.
our dreams just we have to know that they're sometimes not going to look exactly the way we thought they were going to look. And look, you even obtained your dream, and then it was cut short, and it's what you do after that as well.
Yeah,
you know,
and it reminds me of my other brother Roy, actually, where his dream was to be in the WWE too. He's a little bit older. He's 38 now, but he has like 3 kids and stuff, and he has been through hell, and I didn't realize how much hell he went through until recently. He just released his book because he felt like he was always in the shadow of stuff, and he wanted to be in WWE, but then he went to jail, and so his criminal record got in the way. And then WWE tryouts are coming up right now, and then Zach and his son Ricky are getting tryouts and stuff, and then he's kind of left in the dark again, you know.
How come he wasn't in the movie?
He was. There was little bits, you know, where like my dad went and got my brother out of jail, you know. So that was Roy.
That's right. Okay.
But the thing is, like, Roy has this success story too, because he just got this book, and I read the book within like a day and a half. Like, it was so good, and I'm going to plug it because obviously it's on Amazon. It's called Wrestling with My Mind, and I didn't realize how much he's been through in his life to where he got himself now, and has built the courage to put it all into a book, and he's like now helping people that are battling with depression and have this dealt with abuse growing up and stuff like that. And I just feel like that's super inspiring. So I just feel like my whole family, though they go through a rough patch or tough times in their life, they always manage to bounce back, and I feel like that was very inspiring for me too. You look at that. Like, I was inspired by Roy. Like, I was making notes about my book, and Ronnie comes up to me. He's like, "You thinking about making a book, baby?" And I'm just like, "Actually, yeah." Like, at one point,
Are you?
Roy, yeah, because Roy just inspired me. Like, I get inspired by the people closest to me, by Ronnie, by my family, and I'm just like, the stuff that they do after they've been through so much hardship and so much crap in their lives, and how much they overcome it. I'm just like, if you guys can do that and make something of it, then I can do that too.
That's beautiful.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow, I'm glad that you shared that. Wrestling with My Mind?
Wrestling with My Mind.
That's
oh
a
my gosh.
great title.
Oh my gosh, it's really freaking good. And I just like, there's parts that make me laugh, and like there's just this one story that just freaking cracks me up about it. Him and his ex fiance, it was like one of his baby mamas, right? But they were like texting back and forth with each other because they were like breaking up, and she was like, "I'm gonna go to this strip club, like it's male strip club," and I never heard this story before, and I think it's freaking hilarious. And Roy was like, after this, he starts drinking some JD and getting really drunk, and then he comes around behind the venue, comes in through the doors, because everyone knew Roy in Norwich. Like, he was like the tough guy, you know what I mean? Everyone was scared of him, you know?
Yeah.
And so like he could get away with anything. So he comes through the back and gets on stage, and he's like dancing with all the freaking strippers, right? And then one of the strippers is like trying to push him, so Roy's like drunk and like pushes him. And the guy rolls down the stairs, and apparently the guy's just like out cold. He was like, "Oh my God, I just killed someone," right? And then all of a sudden, all these strippers start chasing after him, and he's like running down the street. And then he was like, they were like in tight little sequin thongs, and they're just all running down like these British streets, like chasing after my drunk brother.
Oh my God!
And then apparently he like hopped over this bridge and fell down and like cracked both his ankles, and he's like dragging himself, just trying to run away from strippers. And I was like, oh my goodness. So there's like funny stories in there, but there's also like really bad ones, which I was just like, oh man, it breaks my heart. But he like perfectly describes how my dad is, and my dad's just always the most wonderful human being. Like, just so, oh my gosh, my dad has been through so much too. But me and Roy had this discussion where you can either continue the cycle or you can break the cycle.
Right.
And my dad was one of those people that broke the cycle, and Roy was one of those people that broke the cycle, which is, you know, because a lot of people will have stuff that happens to them when they're kids or whatever, and then they'll continue it and
pass it along.
Yeah. Whereas my dad and my brother has just been like, no, that's not going to happen with us. My mom, no, that's not going to happen with me. And like, I don't know, I'm just inspired by all these people and just their stories, and like really getting down to sit with my brother, even though he's been like a second dad to me my whole life.
Yeah.
Hearing stories that I've never heard before, it's just like, wow, you're like stronger than I even thought. And you were already strong to me, you're already a superhero, but now you're just like, wow. Like,
that's why it's important for you to keep speaking up, because you even have such a platform and so many followers and so many people that do love you, right? Even forget the haters. I mean, the haters are going to hate.
Yeah.
A lot of that is jealousy too, because it just is, right?
Yeah.
It's hard for people to see other people happy. It's like they
100%.
feel like, let me going to put you down so I can feel better.
Exactly.
The thing is, they will never feel better.
Oh, yeah.
They will never feel better. Maybe for one split second, and then they still feel crappy about their lives, right? They don't want to focus on their own lives. But you speaking up the way you have, your mom, when I had her on the show, holy cow, you said it. You were like, my mom's got a crazy story.
Oh, yeah, she's wild, yeah.
Wow. Her story was insane, but her overcoming so much abuse has helped so many people. So there is a story, and actually you mentioned this, but you didn't get into the story, and I was like, okay, that's it. We got to talk about this. You said when you were wrestling, 14 years old, this is when you went on your own little tour, right? You were going to Spain.
Yeah, I was just going off,
to Germany. You're going to the UK. You go to all these places, and you're here, you're 14 years old, and your dad's like, bye.
Yeah, he doesn't even know where I am this week. I'm like, going to Spain. Yeah.
But you said that Turkey was a crazy experience.
Oh, that was terrifying.
What happened?
It was just I don't know what, like, I don't know where it, like, originated from, but, like, I don't know how it even started, but we were all on a tour bus, right? And we go in there, and then one of the Turkish guys, wrestlers, was just like, you can't walk around here by yourself. And I'm like, why? Like, I didn't understand. Like, and it's like a dry country and stuff, so I'm like, well, there's no drunk people around. I don't know why they would, like, start. But then all of a sudden, like, just these Turkish guys like were just like heckling at me, and I didn't know what they were saying. I was just like, hi, like I'm super young. I'm like, okay, cool, like hi. And they're just like, no, you need to go. And then all of a sudden they just like stopped and looked at me, and then they all started chasing me, and I was just like, oh my god! And they just start running, and then like one of the Turkish wrestlers like scoops me up on his shoulder and like runs me and like throws me on the bus, and then everyone had to get on the bus, and like they're like jamming this door closed, and they were just like they just wanted me, and I don't know why. I never understood, and they would never tell me why, but they were just like chasing after me. And then like we went into this museum area, and I guess we weren't allowed to have our phones out, and then they were gonna like arrest us, and I was like, what is happening here in Turkey? It was like a beautiful place, but my goodness, it was like terrifying. And then we were like, I was wrestling Shanna, and she had like a really bad knee too. And so like this Turkish show, there wasn't a lot of wrestlers on there. They were like actors or strippers or something like that they put on the show because they looked good. And it was like a massive arena. There was like, it was like a Raw, you know, like that many people. And the referees weren't real referees. They didn't understand. And then the pyro people weren't real. It was just all like, it was weird. I was like, there was maybe like 3 real wrestlers on the show. And so I go to Shanna, I was like, okay, your knee's really bad. So what I'm going to do is on your entrance, I'm just going to jump you, right? And then I'm literally just going to carry you down to the ring because the thing was so steep that she couldn't walk down it. So I was like, I'll just jump you, grab you, and like have you across my shoulders, like taunt whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I grab her, I hit her, but then she like rolls a little bit. And then, but as she like goes to like get up like that, they set a pyro off in her face. And I was like, luckily it wasn't terrible, right? She literally was like that, and it was like, and I was like, oh my God. And I like lost it halfway through. I was like, what the fuck are you thinking, you stupid? I was so mad. Yeah. So like, I'm like picking her up and trying to carry her like over, and I'm like, are you good? Are you good? She was like, we just need to get to the end of this match already. So I remember just going in there, giving her a couple of things, like pinning her 1, 2, 3, and the ref wouldn't even count because he was so bad. I was like, Ben! I was like, it was really bad. But yeah, that was my oh, and then one of the, I guess, if you're not Turkish or whatever, like you can't touch the flag. I don't understand what was done, but I think it was an American wrestler, and he grabbed the flag like this and he threw it on the ground, and oh my gosh, I thought we were all gonna go to jail. Like it was really bad. Like there was like the guy, I don't know what he was. I don't know if he was a mayor or president or whatever. I don't know what it was. Right. But he come back and he was just like, you're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to jail. We're like, oh my God. It was like terrifying.
At 14.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh my God, I'm going to jail like for the rest of my life.
How did it not make you scared to go to the next town, or were you?
I wasn't scared. I was just like, maybe not, like maybe don't come back to Turkey again. Yeah. Unless
have you
like
been
a nice
back
vacation.
Since then?
No, I have not. No.
You know, when you were telling me about those guys chasing, all I could think of in my mind, I have no idea. I'm not accusing. I'm not saying that. But human trafficking is like a
sex
real
trafficking
deal. I don't know if it is in Turkey.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking that as I was telling the story, and I'm like, actually, it made more sense if they were like trying to get me like into sex trafficking or something. Yeah. But I was just like, oh my God, yeah, it was terrifying. I was really young, and like obviously I looked like a baby too. I was 14.
I remember when the Liam Neeson movie came out, Taken.
Oh, Taken, yeah.
And it was all about human trafficking. And when I was watching that movie, I'm not gonna lie, I was totally ignorant to it. Totally.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I was like, this happens?
Yeah.
You know what the crazy thing is? Fast forward, I have been asked to host this charity event, and they were like, it's called Hidden Tears, it's all about human trafficking. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, like the Taken movie. They're like, yeah. So I go to host it. They're giving me stats because I was like, look, guys, if I'm going to host this, I want to know more about it. So as I'm studying it and everything, I'm like, wait, you said what? Here in the U.S.? They're like, oh, no, so much of it.
Yeah.
They grab from here in the U.S.
There was like a recent article like that where a flight attendant actually managed to stop it from it. Like this girl was being... like she was
exchanged.
Yeah. And you can just tell. And I think she wrote something on like a piece of paper or something like that and gave it to the stewardess when she went to the bathroom. And the stewardess ended up like stopping the whole thing and like rescuing her. Which I was like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, it gives me chills again because I'm like, that's so crazy. Yeah, like that kind of stuff happens. That's what makes me not want to go out the house. I like being in my house. This is my protection right here.
Yeah. I could see.
Yeah.
I could see the fear of that, but obviously you got to be careful too, not to turn into a.
Oh, like a hermit? Yeah, no, I know. We do go out. We do. We're not exactly in the house. We'll like go out and go to watch, a movie or go get, some food.
That's why I had this. I did a post and I had a newspaper dress on.
Oh yeah.
And it made me think of something. I was like, I don't even read newspapers anymore. I don't even watch the news anymore. Molly Holly, years ago, when I was talking to her, I said something about the news or something. She goes, oh yeah, I got rid of cable. I don't watch the news anymore. And I was like, what? Mm-hmm. And this was me, as in, I watch the news every single day. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. She's like, no, it's so negative. She goes, I can't process it. So she says, many times I can't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. So she says, I just don't, the big things I'll find out about, things that I need to know, whatever, but otherwise I don't. So in 2018, I remember I was like, there's so much drama that I just cut it out. Mm-hmm. And I've been so much better off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we don't watch the news. I hate watching the news. I hate it because Ronnie even says all the time, he's like, it's so negative, like Molly said.
Negative.
We just don't have it on. We don't have cable, but you have YouTube TV as well, which has the news and stuff. There's some things that he wants to see, but it comes up in clips. So like all the really horrible stuff you can avoid, and then the stuff that he really is interested in, like even if it's like political or whatever, he'll like watch it. But I can't stand the news. I can't watch it. You can find enough out on Twitter just by scrolling your newsfeed. I don't have to watch it on TV.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like super. I just don't like any negative energy ever. And just watching that, it just breaks your heart. I'm like, I can't watch that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right. So projects coming up. Mm-hmm. Where's your skincare or not your makeup line?
My makeup. So we're completely like revamping it right now because I was just like. I felt like it was kind of like typecasting it a little bit, whereas only gothic girls can wear this, But I want it to be, I want to expand and make it better and make it more classier and stuff. And then we actually are bringing out a range of sweats. Like I'm super into like hypebeast clothes, like streetwear, and I want to have my own, So we're just building like this hype beast like Soraya store brand, which is really cool. Like which will be coming out in like a couple of weeks or something like that. But we're gonna do a shoot here next week, and hopefully it goes well. I love that, but yeah. That's where the Soraya store is right now.
Okay.
And then obviously we're focusing on trying to get that reality show. We're talking to like these producers right now. We shot a pilot for it, which went really well.
Do you want to get back on the road to manage anybody again? Does that interest you, or is it really about like let's evolve into this next role?
Honestly, I'd like to go back on the road if I was general manager. That's something that I really loved and enjoyed because it took me out of my comfort zone. I had a lot of verbiage to remember. And oh my God, I'm like, there's so much crap. But I really enjoyed that, and I would love to come back and do that kind of stuff. But if not, like I'm really content on just doing appearances here and there, like going to England for them or doing media stuff, whatever they need me to do. And do the Fox show at WWE Backstage because it is fun. Like I love it. I get to hang with Renee. We have CM Punk on there. Like Booker's always amazing. Christian's always amazing. It's just we have our own little family, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Talk to me about that. Like how that's been to work with, doing this show. Backstage in general, and then talk to me about Renee.
Renee, dude, I don't think I come across anyone that doesn't like Renee Young.
Yeah,
she just has that personality where she can be friends with everyone, and I love that. And she's like not a negative person. She doesn't bullshit you. She's very honest, and she's just a very good friend to have. And I really enjoy it because we've always wanted to do like a show together. We had like this podcast plan where like Renee and Paige's like bogus journey after like.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, we were gonna do stuff, and then. And then we just kind of like, I went to a different brand and she was doing this, and it just didn't work out.
Did they just put you together? It just so happened on Backstage, or did you guys pitch it?
We didn't pitch it either. Like, and they didn't put us together randomly. They were like auditioning different people to do it. But I remember Jacob Ullman and Ben Grossman, which is the people who are in charge there at Fox, and they did a screening of Fighting with My Family, and they wanted to see how Renee and I gelled together. We didn't know that. So Renee was doing the Q&A and I was like talking, and we were just like bantering back and forth, and it was super fun. And they pulled me afterwards and was like, oh yeah, we want you to come and do like another audition for the Fox show. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then Renee and I were just going back and forth again. It was like super fun, you know, and we had Booker there and Christian. And there was a couple of other people, but they didn't get it. And I think it was like Taz maybe, and Graves. Yeah, but Graves has a podcast now. He's doing really great.
Right.
But yeah, so that ended up being like that. And then I didn't have to do other auditions after that. Apparently I just came for like a couple of them, and then they were just like, all right, we think we're going to use you. It's great. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's super like a natural fit for you.
It's really fun. I really, truly enjoy it. And Backstage is just so chill as well. Like, everyone's super relaxed. We do the meet-in, and we're not there all day for no reason, you know. We get there at a certain point. We do the meet-in, we go to rehearse, and then we go straight into the show. It's just so easy.
Do you do it, is it live, or is it when?
It's live.
It is live?
Yeah, there's like some things, like, so say there's like promo school or something like that, and if the celebrity that we have has to leave at a certain time, we'll like have to pre-tape it.
But it's always Tuesday, you pre-tape it
it's
pretty
always
much.
Tuesday, yeah.
Okay.
Everything's done on Tuesday, so we have like, we do like a meet-in from 5 until about 6, and then 6 to 7 is like usually rehearsal time, maybe go over depending on if we have to pre-tape with the celebrity or not. And then we go live straight from there. But it's super easy, and they're just like, they're very open to your opinions, and they care about your opinions too. Like when you're in meetings, they're like, we want to know what you have to say, you know. And it's not just like men. It's just like, no, there's women here too, and they like what we have to say about things. So I love that. Yeah. And like even my boss, actually one of the producers, Brad Weimer, I think I said his last name right. He actually texted me today, and he was just like, I just want to let you know the show was really good yesterday, and I feel like you have really good chemistry with everyone on the panel, and I just want to say like good job. And that feels good. Like one of your bosses like writes to you the next day and be like, you did a really good job. You know. And
everyone needs a pat in the back every now and then. Absolutely.
And also they're not afraid to tell you like what not to say and what to say. You know, like they really do, like they'll pull your side, and they went through some of the shows that I did, and they were like, hey, when you do this, like speak up a little bit more because you're kind of drowning out, and then maybe not say it like this because, you know, like sometimes I can get tongue tied and stuff like that, so it's not coming across as intelligent as I want it to be. They were like, just sit down, breathe, and you can do it. You know, they're very like, they just walk you through the whole thing. Which
do you feel like you're growing from the show?
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's going to be great, just to anything else, like it's just another stepping stone.
It gives you like confidence to go and do other stuff. Like I'm glad that Renee's in the role that she's kind of taken the reins on it, you know. I don't think I would have been fully ready to do what Renee does. She's just so good at it. Yeah. But I'm getting the confidence to start doing that kind of stuff, you know, which I love.
Well, I'm excited. Speaking of Renee, she's going to be coming back in Chasing Glory.
Oh, I love Renee. She probably has a lot to say too. I love her.
Yeah, because I know her journey. My God. I mean, before we spoke, she aired a week right before she got the commentating job, and she had mentioned how she wanted to be in that commentating chair, and then now I'd love to talk to her about all of that. Yeah. So that's definitely coming up, and we got to get Ronnie on Chasing Glory.
I know, we need to. And he has a lot to talk about too. Like he has a lot. He's been through a lot, and he gets like, you know, people think he's like a certain way, even though there's evidence to say otherwise. You know, like, and he deals with so much, and he just manages to still stay so strong. And he doesn't do like interviews. That's the thing. Like he doesn't like doing them. But he was just saying, he was just like, yeah, I feel like I could do one with Lilian. But he goes like backwards and forwards. Yeah. And, like, it's so sweet. So
I would love that. Just to hear somebody's journey is so important. Right. Like, you know, and I'm always the first to share my own. I think we can always learn from each other's stories. And that's the thing about Chasing Glory is, my God. I mean, I know you said that you've even listened to episodes and you were like, I had no idea. I work with these people. I had no idea their backstory.
We were just talking about Aleister Black. I was like, what? This is insane. Yeah. I feel like, have you had Zelina on yet?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Zelina was amazing.
I just thought about her because obviously like.
So what was crazy was the fact that she was backstage. We were talking one time. I was there, I don't know, guesting or something. And we were in catering, and I had told her, I said, I definitely want to do a Chasing Glory story on you. I said, I always try to get the timing right. And she wasn't on TV yet with Dreddy yet.
Yeah.
And then she goes, well, or maybe she just started. She goes, you might want to get me very soon. And I was like, well, why is that? She goes, well, because it was September.
Yeah.
It was right around 9/11.
It gives me chills. I feel so
yeah.
bad.
And when she said, well, my dad, died in the towers at 9/11, I was like, what? And that was it. Like, that day we recorded it and we put it out right, like 9/11 special on her, and people just didn't know that about her. They didn't know. And so she was able to talk about everything that she went through during that journey.
She's such a wonderful human, and she's so talented, and she has such a good story to tell. Well, she actually played AJ in Fight With My Family.
I know. So we talked about the movie too, which was cool for her to play that. Yeah.
I just remember her trying out like
over and
years
over
ago.
and over
and
and
they just
over
wouldn't
and
pick her
over.
up, and I never understood why. And I just remember being like, "You'll be here soon, sis. Don't worry."
Every time I saw her, I'm all like, just hang tight, hang tight. It's gonna happen, and that's what you see that in certain people. You don't. It's timing, though.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Timing.
It takes a long time. I remember there's like some talent, like for example, like Fandango was down in like FCW for like 10 years, and like you finally came up on the road. Like it's just timing with everybody.
Yeah.
It just takes
I asked
a while.
him recently how he feels about being in NXT, and he loves it.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because him and Tyler Breeze are in NXT, right?
They both are like very happy.
That's great.
Said it fits with their schedule and stuff.
I just remember his story because it was like I'm like, damn, I can't imagine being at FCW that long. I was down there for 2 years and I thought it was forever.
Yeah. Or even Kofi Kingston's story, right?
Yeah.
How many years it took him to be champion.
All the Usos, right? Because one of them was injured, one of them got signed, and the other one didn't, and then eventually they both came in. I was like, damn, everyone has like a really cool story.
Everyone has a story, and I think it's just so important to share it.
Yeah.
Not to hide, not to whatever. Everyone's story. And look, if people get judged, those people, they're going to judge you whether you speak up or not, right?
Right.
So I always say, it's better just speak your truth and look, I always end the podcast, remember to always be yourself and trust that it's enough. And it just has to be enough for you, and don't worry about the haters.
Right.
And look, for you, with everything that happened, just ignore all of that. Focus on the people that did come to your aid. Focus on the fact that because of the conversation, the silver lining, the whole thing is that we were able to have a conversation about it.
Right.
We can talk about it. Now men can hopefully understand why it hurts a little bit as a female, right?
Yeah.
And just move on from it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a total inspiration.
Thanks.
Totally. And you have such a heart of gold.
Thanks.
I love that about you. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
just, I know you've answered this before, but now you're in a different space. Has your chase for glory looked the way you thought it was going to look?
It's no, because I didn't think I would be completely retired and having a second neck surgery and even be with the love of my life. So everything works out for a reason, though, because I feel like if I was on the road so much and Ronnie was touring, like it wouldn't work out very well because we would never see each other.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have Lobster, and I wouldn't be living out here. And it's just like, I don't know, everything happens for a reason. So I feel like me retiring and then this all just came at the right time. It's weird. I just feel like it just worked out for the best. But I love it. I love
silver lining.
It's the silver lining. This is my chasing glory. I'll see you in another 2 years. See where it went. Yeah.
Let's not wait till another 2 years, but this is awesome because
Yeah.
it is a lesson that there is even as dark as something might seem, there's a silver lining in everything.
Yeah,
we just have
absolutely.
to focus on that. But thank you, honey.
Thank
I love
you. I love you.
This is Chasing Glory with Lilian Garcia.
And there you have it, part 1 and part 2 of Paige's continued journey of chasing glory. Paige, thank you so much for sharing everything that you shared in these 2 parts. Really, really opened up your heart like you always do. You are an incredible light. So keep spreading that love. And guys, I say that to all of you out there, all my CG squad, keep spreading positivity and love out there, okay? And be the light, like these lights behind me, Urban Light. Don't forget to come when you are in LA to visit Urban Light because it is something really, really amazing standing underneath these lights that come from the 20s and the 30s. Again, 202 different light posts. So each one is different, and it's just spectacular. So make it a point to stop here at Urban Light in Los Angeles. All right, guys, until next week, go out there and live with much peace, love, and passion. And remember to always be yourself and trust that it's enough. Bye. See ya.
Thanks for joining us here on Chasing Glory from executive producer Lilian Garcia. Don't forget to share this episode with your friends and be sure to subscribe at Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your favorite shows.